It's Friday, the 23rd of February 2024. Of course, I'm dancing because tomorrow is Saturday and the weekends are here. Officially today is the weekend. Yes. You know, when you listen to that montage and that song, you know that yes, the program that is coming up is Family and Values. Thank you for being our guest from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and today, Friday. You've been so wonderful. We've received all your comments and feedback, and thank you for viewing. Yes, you know, keep it going so that we'll have more viewership on the show. Yes, we are streaming across all our social media platforms. You know, download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can always watch us on the go. Welcome to Family and Values. My name is Joy Abu, and I have, you know, this week I said I was going to use that word, my better half. Today, you know, she just gave me a different touch. I looked at her and I said, maybe this weekend, wow, let me speak small Yoruba that I don't understand anyway. But they say, how did they used to say this word? If I remember, I'll tell you. Don't worry. Remind me. I have a Olori sitting here.
A beautiful morning to me, to you out there. It's so good to be here once again. And you know, many say it don't turn to chameleon. One beautiful thing about life is this: many don't believe in horoscope. I don't really, but I do see some signs. I'm a Gemini, and because I'm a Gemini, I know that you know, we are not on a, not that we are not straight, but we come in different. We are very flexible, and we can always manage the situations and circumstances that surrounds us well. Any challenge, by the help of God, we always pull through. And so you are seeing in another dimension this morning. On Wednesday I was in red, today and yesterday was pink. Today I'm in black.
I'm still looking for that.
Monday was a little bit of gold, and you know, all blend, but all glory to God. And I want to believe you're all doing well this morning as well. You know, anytime you see another breaking of a day, I tell you, just thank God. Just thank Him. Thank Him because you can breathe the breath of life, because you can see, you can hear, you can do certain things. Many woke up this morning, could not even move their hands. Yeah, those children are there and they were, "Mommy, wake up. Mommy, stand up." Yes, the father was there, but you know, the children, "Daddy, please, I need this, I need that." But you can make those provisions, no matter how little. Even if your children are going to government school, it's still something. And just give God thanks. That house rent, don't worry. As long as you're not lazy, you'll meet up with it and you will be able to break forth and pay your rent. My name is remain Olori Adejoke David, Olori AJ for short, and I hope we're going to have a wonderful day today. Just stay tuned, follow us on all our social media platforms, and also don't call, send your SMS. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for always being there. Joy.
Yes, you know, at the point I was almost entering the spirit to say, yes, I've forgotten we're also a minister. So sometimes
I was almost going there.
Your spirit was almost going to that line. And in my mind, I was like, Holy Spirit, rewind.
You know, it's the last Friday this month.
Yes, it is. It is the last Friday.
It's the last Friday, and it can just be the grace of God with the hardship, with the situation, you know, around us.
The truth is, yesterday, this week has been emotional for me. I told you I lost someone very close to me, and so. Yesterday was the wake keep, and I had calls and they were like, "Joy, are you not coming for the wake keep?" And I was like, no. I had my reasons because I didn't want to totally break down. And then today is the funeral and everything, and I was, yes, and...
Here in Lagos?
Yes, it's here in Lagos at Covenant Cemetery.
You just have to pay your last respect.
You know, Covenant Cemetery, and I'm like, Holy Spirit, just give me the grace to be able to be there, to pay my last respect, because I don't know, it's not as if you wish anybody dead, but he's the least person I ever would have imagined would go so soon. Because, and maybe if I hadn't spoken to him for a long time, I would have, but that morning we still spoke, and he said, "When I return." So I kept holding on to that word, like, when I return. Is this the when I return? Unfortunately, couldn't make it. So That thing really broke me. But so that's why it's good to thank God. And being the last Friday,
and always be prepared. Be like a soldier. Yes. Be prepared. Yes, no one wants to die young. No one prays to die young. Yes, that's the truth. But you know, death is something that comes visiting and come knocking when you least expect it. Even at the places or situations or circumstances you least hope it to. And to people you never even, you know, sometimes I go to bed and I say, God, if I wake up tomorrow, it's over to you. It's not because I'm righteous or I believe I'm going to end up, you know. But one thing is this, I always tell my children, you are seeing me today, you may not see me tomorrow. Life continues. Whatever I've told you now
life
is
continues.
What you will continue your life with.
Life continues because for somebody like me, I lost my mom since 2005. And life has continued and evolved, and you know, in fact, by March is when we.
And do you know that there are some things you would have overcome, or that would have come your way, challenges or situations, or knowledge and the wisdom of God that would have come your way, that even if your mother was to be alive, she won't be able to handle it as much as the way you handled it, and you were able to scale through, because you knew there was nobody. You are aware. You only have yourself and God to see you through. And by the help of God, if somebody comes, fine. If nobody's coming, all well and good. And you are able to, the topic we're discussing today is part of it, even though it's finance. But my dear, it comes about planning and managing your life. Managing your life. Today, don't forget my son's open day.
Okay. No, don't worry. I will be there for David. David, since on Monday, David has told me, so I will be there today.
And to many of the parents out there, please visit. Today is open day.
Visit the school and know what they are doing.
Don't fail to go. And please, when you are going, just do little gifts.
Do what?
Appreciate the teachers.
Do what? Please, we are in
something for some, even if it's a loaf of bread. 300 naira, 400 loaves of bread goes a lot. A recharge card of 200 naira is also something. You have the app on your phone, so it goes.
Is that right? David's case is covered as long as you're here. It's covered. It's covered.
Thank you to all our teachers out there. We love you. Thank you for how you have helped us. For how you have been there for us and brought us up. You know, with your knowledge, wealth of knowledge. We are here by the grace of God because you taught us. Thank you.
Okay, so let's go into the business of the day. Today is Friday, and the topic we are bringing to you is something that is going to help you as you move into the new month. It's important because we told you from the beginning of this year, we will be deliberate about your marriage, your finances, everything that concerns you. So we'll go on a quick mini feature so you have an idea into today's topic, and when we return, our guests will do justice to the topic. Say yes.
Financial plan provides a roadmap for achieving financial goals and ensuring a secure future for the family. Family financial planning takes into account the needs of each family member and how they interact with everyone else's needs to create a holistic plan. Family financial planning is not just about day-to-day or month-to-month spending or saving, it's about planning for long-term. The purpose of financial management is to guide family on financial decisions and stability, both for now and in the future. In this current economic situation, it is important families find alternative ways to making more income and learn proper education on financial management, as this will help families navigate through the hardship in the country. Financial planning and management has become important, as this will help families cultivate habits of savings and spendings on things that are necessity and of urgency, not spending on things that are less important to the family. Getting an extra source of income in this present economy situation can never be overemphasized, as one stream of income can hardly sustain running of the family. It is important to know how to manage every resources coming into the family.
Welcome back. I've been laughing in the studio because, of course, it's always a fun time here in the studio behind the cameras. Today we are discussing financial planning and management. You agree with me that this topic is needed in this current economy, the present economic situation needs proper financial planning and management. And you know, when we are bringing topics like this is to help parents, is to help father, mother, even the children do proper financial planning in this period. It's not a time for wastefulness. It's not a time to, care less about resources. Put in all your resources and source for extra income. Okay, today we have one of our finest guests in the studio. He is a very gentle, handsome man, always coming in his white and hey! Yes, today we are exploring the business aspect of him. He is an entrepreneur. Of course, he's a public analyst. He is also a writer and a relationship coach. But today we want to take you from the business side because he also does business planning. So if you want to plan your business, you know what to meet. We are talking to no other person than Godwin Robinson. He is the CEO of Rainbird Nigeria Limited. Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for finding time. Yes, I wanted to say it because last time you did Zoom, but today you said yes. You said I'm your better half.
I'm not your other. Yes, but I'm not your other twin. Why would you want to?
You said I'm your better half. Oh, see me.
Maybe I said we do programs, but don't mind us. That's how the law flows.
But welcome to the show. Welcome. Good to see you again.
So good to see you. How's the family? How are the big girls and the boy? Welcome.
Okay, so today we are talking about financial planning and management. I know this is key, very important to you. It's one topic that is close to your heart. Now, why do we need to plan financially? Why do you think that the spirit families should put in everything into planning their finances, every resources that come in?
Okay, you're bringing two words there. One is financial. One is finance and one is planning. Let me break it. Finance talks about the economic strength of the family. Finance talks about what you want to buy, what you want to sell, what you want to use to solve problems. Finance goes beyond the printed money, the printed currency, to what you drop on the table to get value. Finance talks about problem solving, and then you get value for solving the problem. So finance is talking about the marketplace. That's what it is. Then you talk about planning. One wise man said, failing to plan is going to fail. But then what is planning? Planning is about allocation of resources and management of time. That's what planning is. Because if you fail to allocate what should go to where it should go, you could misplace it. And sometimes we look at it and we think planning is a very big word, and I don't even know how to plan. No, everybody plans. You start from waking up in the morning, what you want to wear, you want to go to the market, what you want to buy. You take that little paper, you write this, you write that. Those things are planning. Why you are doing that is to allocate the fund you have, so that you don't exceed your boundaries and budgets. So that everything will go. Oh, did you come back? Have you bought everything? Yes, I bought everything. So that's what you are talking about now, financial planning and the family. So it's about allocation of economic power, allocation of time, allocation of people, and all that, and what everybody should understand.
Okay. So what is now financial management?
Okay. Financial management is also not very, very far from financial planning. Okay. Now, it's about managing the resources, the economic resources, the strengths, managing it to achieve your objectives and your goals. Okay. So first of all, you should have goals. Then secondly, you should now sit down to say you should have a plan. Then thirdly, you should be able to allocate. It's like the action part of financial planning. Okay. So you should be able to allocate it and do what you should be able to do. Now, let me bring it in here.
Yeah, and also break it down in layman's language. Okay. Putting it, we have some people who are out there who they want to actually pass this message across to, learned and unlearned.
Okay. So financial management, and I'm focusing about family now. Financial management is about the resources of the family, the money that the family has, or what the family does to get this money, how it should go, and what should be done, and how we should go about it. Especially when you look at the economic climate in the country right now. a lot of people are settling scores with whoever they've offended because you don't know where your breakfast is coming from. There's no need keeping malice when you're hungry. And there's no need looking for respect and honor when you're very, very hungry. So it's important to keep peace, you know, make peace with everyone. Now, you're looking at it, you find out that the slim resources, before, if you take some amount of money, maybe like 100,000 to the market, you buy a whole lot of things. These days, you start looking for what you bought with the 100,000 naira. So it calls for proper financial planning and proper financial management. So I think this is it. I don't want to exceed this so that I will stay within my boundary.
Okay, now we are talking about family, and the key focus today is on families, and we are talking of everything that has to do with the income, the resources that are coming to the family. Now, for a layman out there who is a bricklayer, who is a carpenter, why do you think, what would be the benefits of him planning or even managing his? He tell you, whatever I have in a day, I bring it, I drop it, we eat. Tomorrow I work. So how are we going to tell him that this is the benefit, this is the reason why you need to manage that money, that small money that you think is coming in, and plan for the future? What do you think are the benefits? How do you think they can be beneficiary to them?
Okay. You are embarking on a trip, and you know you're going from here, maybe you're going from here to Amsterdam, and you are going to spend 7 days, and then you look at it, what do I require, what do I need? You pick up those things, and while picking them, you're also thinking about the aircraft, how many kg are they going to take, and all that. So this is pure planning. Now, the bricklayer or the farmer or the artisan who is out there really needs to plan, because he doesn't have excess. He doesn't have so much to be reckless about. Let me explain what I mean. Okay. Most families go through some economic pressure, tension that ends up disorganizing the family. I don't know, but I know some men that will never be happy when they don't have enough to give to their family. There was a lady called me and said, he stopped picking my call for how many days now we've not seen him, and my children are hungry. To her, the responsibility is to the man, and she was not thinking about herself, and she doesn't care, and that is it. Now look at it this way. If a man is making 110,000 naira, okay, and you have a family of 4, okay, and your wife is there, okay, and this 4, their age bracket might be between 10 to 12 or 8 to 12. You have to sit down with your wife, because in most times the men are the hunters, and the woman is the one that takes care of the home. You sit down with her. Babe, this is how much we spend in this house. How do we go about it? It might require this woman looking at it. We have to change our buying source. So the issue of always going out to the street or the near market in the neighborhood to buy things does not come in again. Then it warrants you have to go down a little bit more, maybe to my 12, to be able to buy some of those things that you people, groceries and all that. You buy it in wholesale or where it is cheaper, because the closer you are to the manufacturer or to the distributor, the cheaper the commodity becomes for you. So this one, I begin to have problem with people who normally patronize the Malam by the streets to almost buy everything, or people that sit in the car to buy things from the roadside for whatever they need. You are paying more for those things. But when you allocate this money to this woman, we are spending so and so in a month. So she will allocate the money and then go to the market where she can get those things cheaper and be able to buy those things. Then buy some containers where you can put some of these things. Crayfish does not spoil. Dry pepper also gives you the same seasoning and all that. Maggi does not also. So you buy these things in bulk and then bring them home. You will save a whole lot of money. And then also the children, whatever they're going to use to go to school every day, maybe some of the,
the snacks, the juice.
You also be able to buy. You don't need to have so much money to do these things. But you just need to allocate the money to be able to do it. But it must be an agreement between the husband and the wife, and then they are able to plan and then do it well. I don't know if I answered it.
Yes, you did. You did.
And that is what will bring me to, do I need to plan before I earn my salary? or after I have put all my profit aside, when do I plan? And what am I to manage? It's only my finances.
Okay.
As a married man, as a family man or woman.
Okay. In Nigerian pidgin language, I would have said, "Well, I know plenty."
We know you're capable.
Let me look at it this way. If you are trying to build a house, do you start planning when you have already started building the house, or you start planning before you start building the house? So I know you plan before you start. Now that will also give you a picture of the resources you require and everything. So I think if you've gotten a job and your salary is 150,000 naira, all the hands and all what the money is supposed to do is when you need to start planning, and that's how you should. That's where it should be before. But if you did not, there is no crime. Sit down now, and also because maybe the lack of or the absence of planning has been the reason why you go through some of the pressure you go through, and that is it. But let me also chip in this. You see, the 21st century has actually brought other things to the table, before most families, and that's role changes. Role changes. Who brings what and who brings that? Before now, we know that the man has to be the one to work and then make all the money and then bring it home, and the woman's job is to take care of the children.
Yes,
This is changing, and I can see you're happy about it. But men are crying for help, and these things are changing. And sometimes you find out that sometimes even your wife has a better job than you and is making more, and then she still wants to look at you as, now you marry me, now you still bring the money. These things are not supposed to. So now let me say the present economic situation calls for side hustle. What are you doing by the side to bring in more? It's very, very important. The man goes to work, the woman, and this side hustle I'm talking about is that the children can actually be washing the car of the neighbor by the side, so that when they're going back to school, they're able to give them 1 naira or 2 naira, so whatever you're going to bring.
That one it go hard for some parents.
Okay.
They will tell you my son is not a slave.
Now,
why should he be my neighbor's this thing?
Because you see, you gain two things when you do this thing. You teach them responsibility. You teach them responsibility. They could actually learn a skill.
That's it.
Some of them go to where some of their friends use phones, and these phones go spoil. If they come back for vacation, teach them how to repair phone. Let them go and learn. Let them learn how to repair computers and all that. So you see, when we teach our children responsibility at a young age, they carry it on and they grow with it.
Yeah.
I met a man yesterday, and let me not say this. The guy moved me. He happens to be a barber, but this guy, as I'm talking with you right now, is manufacturing some products we use in the house. And the money he started with came from the barbing, and then he brought from friends. So sometimes we are not able to think outside the box, and we begin to think it's only that little salary that we receive. That no. Business is about solving problems and getting value.
Yes, business is about solving problems and getting values for it. I'm going to ask my next question, but I'll hold you on. Let's go for a quick commercial break, and when we return, our conversation continues. Go back. You really want to know what Olori is doing behind cameras, but it's fine. We've been discussing financial planning and management with Godwin Robinson, and he's been doing justice to the topic. Hope you're learning. Now, before I went on that break, I wanted to ask you, when you were talking, you did mention something about families should be involved in side hustles. Now, let's be realistic. It's obvious that one cannot survive with one stream of income. And let's assume this is a man that, or a husband and wife that does 8 to 5 p.m. kind of job. How do those people add side hustles, and what kind of side hustles do you think they can add? Because if you tell somebody go and open a shop and stocking goods, the person look at you like, where am I going to get that money from? So what are those side hustles that one can do? Somebody listening to us can actually pick one that doesn't really need so much of capital intensive to start with. What are those side hustles from your own experience and being on the street that you can gather yourself? Like we're talking about the barber that produces. So what are those things that you think families can get involved in?
There are a lot of things that families can actually get involved in. Let me look at it this way. I will take your memory back to how we have evolved in Nigerian business environment. Most Nigerians are not thinkers. I look at it like this, that different tribes in Nigeria has got some things good about them.
Okay.
I got a mail the other day, a very good family friend from the northern part of the country, to southern Kaduna to be precise, and he wrote me, he said, we want to send in some young people to you in Lagos from our community so that you can expose them to the Igbo entrepreneurship industry. And we want to be bringing them in batches. I said, I will give you time, I want to talk to you. This was something that me online, he has been reading me and all that, and then he was able to talk about that. Now, let me bring it in this way. There are a lot of businesses that families can do. A whole lot. What is business in the first place?
Okay.
Business is about solving problem, and you're paid for solving this problem, and we have these problems around us. Now, if you go back to Nigeria in the 80s, I think it started in the 80s when we started talking about cars from Belgium, that we then had a lot of Belgian rides that came in. From bringing in cars from Belgium, we started the video centers. Okay, the VHS video centers. From video centers, we started to business centers, call centers.
Call centers.
From there again, cyber cafe. From there again, from cyber cafe. Then I don't know what we have today.
We have game centers.
We have game
centers.
Now, one thing you will notice about those businesses, you find out that they don't last, because saturation comes in, because business is actually controlled by supply and demand. When you have more hands doing the same thing, of course, who is going to demand for it? This is the problem. So when you talk about family, what can families do that will not require so much? It's about solving problems. Okay, in Nigeria we have 210 million people who must get up every day and brush their teeth. They will take their shower, they will drink water, and they will eat. They will rub pomade. They will wash their clothes. Am I making sense?
Yes.
They will move from one place to another. They will pass messages.
Okay.
So you look at these things, the change of production, change of deliveries of these things. Where can you fix yourself? One, if you must have a family side hustle, drop arrogance. Just drop it. You drop it, because most Nigerian young people, even that are looking for jobs, it's not that there are no jobs. It's just that there's some kind of job they don't want to do.
They don't want to do.
Then if you don't want to do the job, no problem. I tell me, oh boy, urgent 2K, I won't listen to you. So you should be able to bring yourself down and be able to do what you've got to do. One is, like I said, you can distribute food. You don't need a shop. Call your neighbors. We sell yamo. You don't need so much. You get to K2 or wherever, you are talking with somebody, you're able to deposit. Some of them are so good that if you deposit 50,000 naira, they will give you 100,000 naira and bring it and keep it back out of your house. Tell your neighbors, you have given me a very good price, they'll buy from you. It could be soap, it could be anything. It could be ice block. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah,
it could be cooking for people in the neighborhood. There are some friends, like me now, I know some people who come from a wonderful environment of Akwa Ibom and Calabar, and we all know that these guys
cook well. Just say it, Joy, your people cook well.
So you don't
give me my credits. We cook well.
Imagine.
So you don't need to go too far. You know, some young people are around you, or some families around you who are not they don't have time to cook. See, 4 liter of egusi soup, isosa soup. You'll be surprised. You have running customers every month. They give you that money.
I think I can relate with you. I can relate on that.
Yes.
So I can.
You supply them those things. There are some women that are working and their husbands are also working that they don't have time to cook.
Very true.
And they still need their fridge to be stocked. So you find where you can. Some again is washing clothes. You don't need so much to do that. But it's just that you see this telephone and television has become a poverty generating system that some people are so fixed with that they don't think about other things that they have to do. So I look at it from that perspective. Another one again is the IT industry. There are a lot of things you can actually do. Okay, I'm not an IT person, but I have my children who are into it. Okay, and they're doing well. These days, again, the 21st century, you'll find out that the workspace has actually been broken. You can stay here and be working for somebody in Louisiana, or you can stay here working for somebody in Washington, to the point of becoming a personal assistant. Yeah, they don't need to see you. So you go get these skills and then do this thing. And again, there's something you said. Somebody is working from 8 to 5 and then you don't have time. Everybody has 24 hours. God is not perfect. So if poverty is pursuing you, what are you sleeping with 8 hours, 9 hours? What are you doing with that?
I used to say so.
I used to tell people around me and the people I mentor, my friend, if you have chains on your hand and your legs and you go to bed and you sleep 8 hours and wake up, the chains are still there. But there are some actions you can take and cut down your time of sleeping, your time of so-called rest. What are you resting for? Have you ever seen a poor person going to the gym always? No. Poverty will help you to be able to shape yourself. And put you in place. Yes. Right. If you go to the beach now, you see some wealthy people, taking the sun. A poor man does not take the sun. Poverty will line you up. You are taking the sun as you're walking. So that now this brings me to different seasons of life. Different seasons of life and different approach to these seasons. It doesn't mean I'm poor today, I'll be poor tomorrow. But there are times you should be able to deny yourself the comfort, to build a good future. Because if you are poor and you are struggling with poverty, you're struggling with lack and want, and your children meet you inside it, I'm sure you're not going to be the happiest person. So if you see some of us in Nigeria, once we leave Nigerian shores and then we go to Europe, you see some of us doing 4 or 5 jobs. Yeah. We sleep 3 hours. I met one guy one day in a train station, I think in Rome, and this guy was running, he was telling someone, I just left my job 1, now I'm going to job 2 and all that. And he was running. And at the end of the day, how much does he make of it? But at least he's happy. So I think one of the worst the worst chains in the life of a poor person is sleep and rest. Don't reduce the hours. Reduce it and target it that you'll be able to work from this time to this time within this and so period and be able to change. That's what I'm trying to say. So learn some things while we are sleeping. The people in the Western Hemisphere are awake. So how many hours can you work and what can you do? There are things you can do on the internet and then be able to create value and then they'll be able to pay you. This is the area I'm looking at it. So poor man don't need to sleep 8 hours or 9 hours. It's not necessary.
Tell them.
Let's say they're here now. I was reminding some people this morning. If you have been watching my program, you know that I always warn people, you can't sleep 8 hours. It's not possible. Especially if you're in Lagos. Nigeria most especially. 8 hours, I won't complete. Okay, so how do we now involve our family members, our loved ones? I want to build a house now, 3 or 4 bedroom bungalow, and I have been planning and working toward it. I'm trying to cite an example, but don't mind me, my house is on its way. So, and I have to let my daughters, my son, to know that I'm doing this. How do I carry them along so that they will not say, but this is not the joy I used to know. When you talk, you will find a way. But this one, I said, I don't have money. I only have this left. How do we put them into the arrangement and the management strategy we have put together to manage our finances, our business? That I'm just going to, I want to go to school. We have some self-developmental, academic way of growing up. Even if you're not going to business, how do I bring them in?
Okay. There was a time in my life, my family was so young. I want to use a personal experience now.
Yeah, that's the best way.
So my family was so young, the children were coming and we didn't have so much. And I had some people also living with me in my house. And I quickly called them and said, guys, I can no more feed you, but I can provide shelter. And stop taking my beverage because it's for the children. I don't also take. You are finished growing, you don't need that beverage. So you know this is a phase in my life. We're going to go through this phase and then we get to a better season. But I can give you shelter, but I cannot give you luxury. So please stop. If you want to eat, you go outside and buy. You saw those sachets, Milo. You can buy and then drink. But you see these ones, don't touch it again. Now I looked at it. I had to tell my wife, we can't continue this weight. We have to shed it. There's a story we have in history of a man who was traveling to so and so place, and then they were in a ship, and then the ship started having problem. The first thing you do when ship is having problem is to throw away the weight so that you can lighten the ship. It's also applicable to human life. If there's a phase you are going to be, then you'll be able to throw some weight. Don't carry excess responsibility. Like some people that have side chick, side hen and all that. You see, these things are heavy expenses on you. Then bringing it back to what you're saying, you have to carry your family along. Okay, let me push you to Festac Town. The people, original owners of those houses, you know them, they were civil servants. They all won the house through lottery. And some of them were doing very good job. But from early 80s to late 80s to 90, their economy started shaking. That's when they started services. But some of them again, their children, they lost their children to dangerous lifestyle because they've already placed their children on a particular platform. And when you say life or the season is changing, some of them could not maintain it. So the tenants they had were now the ones that annexed their children. When I say annex, I don't want to bring in the moral part of it and all that. And before you know it, we all know Festac to become like Sodom. These were the things that happened. They were not ready for that particular phase. What am I trying to say? When you look at it, things are changing. Yeah. Family meetings should come in.
Very important.
The way it is. You see, we're drinking tea before. Now we'll be drinking Gary.
There
is no problem. Wash it very well. Remove the starch. And then put sugar, and then you drink it. Be able to re-strategize. Like now, this economy in Nigeria, if you don't re-strategize, you're going to have a very serious problem. You can't continue eating with the 10 fingers and then continue yourself to get. No, you can't. So a lot of things are happening. Tell them, this is where we're headed to. This is where we are. And this is how it's going to be. I don't get the point.
I understand you.
Some food should disappear from the table.
From the table.
Some canned drinks and all that should disappear. You know why I'm saying this is that this famine or this economic challenge, why the government is struggling to give us solution and all that, will not stop next month. It will not stop. It's not going to stop next 3 months. So I don't know. When we're talking about dollar and all that, it's not going to stop now. So people that are going to sell through, some people are actually going to become multi-billionaires out of this. Some people say they're taking advantage. No. Go through history. The Great Depression in America was what gave birth to the multi-billionaires that gave birth to the billionaires we have today in America. Problem always creates resources like that if you are able to think. So communicate to your family. It's not about being stingy. If you're a businessman now, I can be talking with you and then 20 million naira will come into my account. If it comes in, you know what is going to happen. You thank God. The money when I don't, I'll tell you, no, it's not business. It's not my money.
It's not yours.
So when money is already allocated for something, you will not be willful. So you make them understand and see. There are some certain phases of your life that you have to be. You block your ears.
Very true.
You block your ears. I like taking that kind of decision. I don't care what you say about it. Now, sometimes ago when I was coming up, my brothers needed some kind of money and they came around and I said, I don't have this money to give you. Honestly, I don't have it. They say you're just being very wicked. We know you will not be able to give it to us. Not that you don't have. They looked at the business, they saw things happening, but I said, I don't have that money. One man said to me, this money where you keep, if person die now, you go bring them. I said, no. If I don't have the money, the person die. I will come there and I will cry with them and we will bury the person. And that is the way.
That's the way.
If I don't have it, I don't have it. I can't kill myself. But there is need for review. There is need for adjustment. There is need also for adequate communication. Because this is also what is causing problem in family. The man will start adjusting without telling the wife. He will start his own adjustment procedure is refusal. Or anger, or not coming back to the house again. You don't need to do all those nonsense. Sit your family down and discuss with them. See this in way they like this. This is the way it's going to be. This is the way it's going to be. Okay? And all that. And in managing the family is, again, as regards providing for the house, the man should be able to pick his own responsibility. Okay, there are things that are supposed to be the man that should go out and negotiate it. Everything should not be on the table of the woman. And then the children also, you look at them, what can they also contribute in managing this particular phase? And whatever they can contribute, it can come in. Okay, and then everybody has to see. This topic is very important to me because hardly these days you park your car in a public place, and when you enter the car, you don't see somebody standing by the side of your window to ask you for something. And these guys are honest. They're going through trouble. They don't know where to go. Okay, and it's important that we begin to look at it. If I am comfortable and my neighbor is not comfortable, my safety also is reduced.
It's reduced.
So we have to look at it. How do we help each other to go through this phase? But I believe it's going to be.
I think I can actually relate to when it comes to bringing in family. I remember, this whole period, I had to tell my kids, I said, I'll take away this nice aspect from you. And my son gave me a technology that worked for me. He said, no, if you used to spend 300-400 on snacks, don't worry, reduce it. Give me 100, give my other sister 100. And what was his reason? He said, we will take the drink out. So in place of drink, we'll use water. And then we use 100 to buy chips and this thing. So I looked at it and I tried it for 1 week. And they were comfortable. It worked for me. So the headache of going for one juice to put, it's out of it. So he just, sometimes it's good to bring. You might think they are too small, but they know, they understand what the economy is and this thing. But finally, before we let you go, because we're really running out of our time, for families out there that are really struggling, and I mean are struggling, you know that the man, like I'll give you a story. I met a pregnant at about 8 p.m. out of my grade. I went to get something. She had clothes for selling. All these okay clothes, and she was pregnant. She said, please, I don't want money, just give me foodstuffs that I'll go and cook. And then I went for that to say, how many children do you have? She said, this is the 5th one. I said, how old is your last child? She said, 2. And I said, where is your husband? He said, he's at home. Why is he not working? Because there is no job. He's a bricklayer. Now where I was going to is actually a very long distance. In my head, I was already thinking, a pregnant woman at 8 p.m. and she told me she had not sold anything. In fact, she brought out other things that other people gave her. So I had no choice than to go in and bring out the foodstuffs I had. For families like that, what is your kindly advice to them? Because I felt like the man was just being wicked. Why would you should rather take over those clothes and go. And I told the woman, I said, madam, if you give birth to this child, she said it was mistake. I said it's not a mistake. If you give birth to another one, I bet you everybody would leave you. Yes, so for families like that, please, how do we really talk to them to understand that this is not a time to give birth to 1 year, next year, this year? I really don't. So how do we, please, while we round up, please?
Okay, population control is very important in families. I also know that when we're talking about planning, you plan on how many you want to have and how you want to go about it. But families that have already entered into it, look at what we are saying. Multiple streams of income or multiple channels of earning money is there. A bricklayer might be a bricklayer, but he can also do one or two things. That, like I said, increase your skill acquisition, learn something again. You said the man happens to be wicked. Yes, I want to believe he is wicked, but the woman also is a culprit in the wickedness of the man. Because I look at it this way, that some women don't actually consider a lot of factors before they end up with some certain kind of people. I mean, let me not go into that because that's a topic for another day. So if somebody has ended up with this kind of a man that is very fertile, and in the midst of his fertility, they've already have 5 children, and he has no plan of taking care of these children, it is wonderful. The woman should change the business she's doing, because she cannot continue to beg.
Of course she cannot, Lori. That's wrong.
Should change his mind.
The cook of the matter, go for family planning. Women, go for family planning. Let your husband know. Go for family planning, especially when you know things are not going to be the way it is. And the economy is not making it easy for everyone. If you don't, if you have a skill, go for family planning. If you don't have a skill, go for family planning. Let your husband know. You need to carry each other along, because it's not like those days in the 80s or in the 70s.
Okay.
That's the reality of life. Anyway, it's good to plan. It's good to make sure that you carry your family along. Any decision you're about to make sure you're doing it all to the benefit of your family, okay, and yourself first. Be happy doing it, and put yourself, just like our guest said, put yourself in the know and open your eyes wide. My name is Remino Lori Adijoke Adumitevi. I wish you the very best of this weekend. Love yourself, be good to yourself, and celebrate others. Have a lovely weekend.
Yes, it's been a very interesting and educative topic today here on Family and Values. Please go back, listen to it again, so you plan and have multiple streams of income. That's what I'm going to tell you. Plan for your tomorrow. My name is Joy Abu. We'll see you on Monday. Enjoy a peaceful weekend. Bye.